It was 2005 and I was undertaking my first ever trip since recently purchasing my four-wheel drive. I was a novice and travelling solo. I had reached the Northern Territory and my meanderings had brought me to Pine Creek. Today, I would once again leave the main Stuart Highway and find a couple of gems to explore. This is the old Pine Creek railway station. The first stage of the lightly built narrow gauge North Australian Railway was built between Port Darwin and Pine Creek, reaching the town in 1889. It was extended to Katherine in 1917. The railway closed in 1976. The old Pine Creek railway station, built in 1888, and some rolling stock remained and were preserved as the Pine Creek Railway Precinct. The Commonwealth Railway's steam locomotive NF5, built in 1877, was restored to operational condition in 2001. The North Australian Railway's standard gauge successor, used by heavy freight trains and the tourism train McGann, passes 400 metres to the east of the town. Pine Creek's not a bad little town actually. It's certainly bigger than most of the places I've been through in the Northern Territory so far. Of course, as we get closer to Darwin, I dare say it will become more and more this way. There's a caravan park on the corner. That's not the one that I stayed at. Over here is Maisie's Hard Rock Cafe Hotel Motel, and there's also the Hotel Motel right alongside of it, the pub, and there's the service station on the other side of the road where we're going to go and get some fuel. Lazy Lizard Tourist Park and Tavern. This is where we spent the night last night. Quite a nice little tourist park actually. It only cost me $6, so I'm not complaining. Well, Pine Creek is it's a pretty little town in its own way. It's a lot of garden stuff. Pine Creek, it's off the main road, but it's certainly a pretty little place. Worth coming and having a look at. Certainly worth staying the night. On the road to Emerald Creek. Well, this is the Mitchell Airfield, and construction was started in 1942, March 1942. It was used by B-53 bombers, and because of the logistical problems involved and the limitations of the limits of how far these things could fly on a mission type journey, this airfield actually became unusable from a point of view that the planes were having to come back to Darwin rather than back to Mitchell here, back to McDonald here. So the airfield was effectively decommissioned in April 1943, so it only ran for a little over 12 months. The Army then took it on and used the area as a base from that point on. But there we go. This is the last known time that a plane actually landed on this officially was a forced landing by a plane in 1945. This is a tarmac airfield too, compared to the one that we looked at Gorge, which wasn't tarmacked. And the Americans had some help, or went some way to helping to construct this particular airfield. Also, access to this one is by a bitumen road, whereas opposed to the one down in Gorge, which is by gravel road only. So this is the McDonald Airfield from World War II. Well, that's actually the McDonald Airbase, and you're going to go and have a look. It's 5.2 kilometres in. Just follow the bitumen right through to the end. It's on the right hand side as you drive up. Runs alongside the road. Righto, this is Emerald Springs, and the trucks just pull in here. How's that bloke over there? 4 trailers on that one, and they don't stop when they're moving. But you come down this little slip road, trucks can park on one side, cars can drive down the middle. But believe it or not, there's one truck there too. Old Springs Roadhouse. It's down in there. Quite pretty. I really am fascinated with the country I'm driving through at the moment. This is really beautiful up here. Probably doesn't come up on the video too well, and the video's waving all over the place because I've got to watch them driving. But it is, it's really quite nice. Well, the Grove Hill area is it's full of gold mining history dating back to the late 1800s. It's littered with old diggings and mine shafts. Great place to fossick or explore. Well, I'm not going to do that, but we will go in and we'll have a boat peep at the Fountainhead Hotel, which I understand is well worth a look. 16 kilometres of gravel, so what? We're at the Grove Hill Hotel. This is mining company out here. There it is. Rather innovative sign railing. Welcome, please do not bring your own food, drink, dogs onto these premises. Thank you. Well, that's fair enough. So this is the Grove Hotel. It is 70 years old this year. As I said, it's a mining area, so a lot of the stuff that's here. The metal cupboard we're looking at here is adapted from a riveted metal tank. Note the hand forward hinges and bolt. The catch, no welding. Geez, there's some stuff here. Old bottles. Obviously the dining room. Old pictures from the old days, the old post office in Darwin. Miners' helmets. Margaret Lucy was the first licensee of the hotel. She actually died in 1972, but this is her original bedroom in the hotel. Margaret Lucy on the left hand side. This hotel's only ever had 3 owners. 2 have been women. Wireless. Oh, there are some of the electrical fittings of the time. It's the Grove Hill post office at one point in time. Wooden telephone stolen February 1990. Yeah, I've yet to find out whether this is decent accommodation out here or not. This is 30s style accommodation. And these toilets here are for the use of 30 styles accommodation only. And we have one for ladies and we have one for gents. There are different types of toilets. There's a Flaming Fury outside toilet, pre-1959 used here. The toilet stood above a long drop and was fired using petrol once a week.
All years of tenderness, true love and happiness.
Amazing old place.
50 years of love, all these years.
This is Mary.
All those memories, all those happy years, 50 years of loving.
Not even only dingoes playing up here. Let's in pictures with you and Stan, is it?
Yeah.
Stan and Mary and Annie. Well, apparently, as with Pine Creek, the gold mines are all closed up around this way as well. So I reckon there's no gold around the place, but who knows. Anyhow, this is it, Grove Hill Hotel. Trucks are supposed to use a low gear going down here. It's just a normal road as far as I can see, but cars steep slope it says, and trucks use lower gear, so this is Hayes Creek. Welcome to the Tank and Tummy Station, it says. Wayside Inn and Caravan Park. Okay, we're in at the Felton Camp headquarters, just having a little look here. I don't know what we're going to find, but we'll go and see. Well, certainly the flooring lines of a building of some sort. I'd imagine the anthills weren't here at the time. Floor of another building here. The one just over there. But look at the site. Look at what they're looking at. Certainly got the buildings all over the place. And when you stand up here and have a look at what they're looking at, obviously strategically chosen, they've got a very good look at everything around the place. What an incredible view from up here, eh? Sometimes it's worthwhile just driving in off the road, just to see what you see. Still more buildings and stuff. There may have been more of this at Gorge as well, but I didn't see any of it. Mind you, I didn't probably go quite as far as I should have done. Possible to get up here by two-wheel drive, I would think, but four-wheel drive definitely the way to go.
Okay, we just looked at the base camp. Now I found this World War II Airfield, Felton. It was used mainly by long-range liberators. Let's go and see if we can find this airfield. Okay, we found the airfield, and it was used for doing a number of raids from Australia. The actual airport itself was raided 2 or 3 times itself. A very important airfield by the sound of things in the context of what happened during the war. Let's have a look at the airfield. As usual, the Yanks about handing it, so it's bitumenised. Mind you, they were big planes. Okay, so this dirt part, very much compacted, was obviously overrun or taxiing or whatever, because the main strip itself is bitumen. Again, the airstrip's in remarkably good condition considering it hasn't been used for 60 years. Last year to November 1945. I mean, you can have a look at some of that stuff growing out of it, but otherwise it's in remarkably good condition. There's been some patchwork done on it, so whether or not some light aircraft pubs have done anything in the past or not, certainly the caretakers may have looked after it just to make sure that it still looks okay. But still in pretty good nick. It's not dead flat, but then again I haven't been on a real airstrip either, so I don't know whether that'd be dead flat either. You may remember Gorge was 2 kilometres long. This one we've so far done 1.3, 1.4. That included the white strip at the other end. Would have thought with the size of the planes it would be probably a bit longer than that, but then again, they were servicing big planes down at Gorge as well. So we come to the end of the strip, and it's just on 2 kilometres long. Well, there you go. Hey, this one's bitumen. Driving along, I noticed all of a sudden these mounds, and they're sort of facing towards each other. I'm wondering on an actual fact. Can't see the doors or anything. I wonder whether they were buttons. There's a couple more just down here. These are the ones I spotted to start with, and when I started coming down this track, I noticed there was some more a bit further on. Probably nothing to do with ammunition bunkers, but for all that, looks very similar to each other. The man-made hills. Now here's an unusual occurrence for me so far in the Northern Territory. I'm used to seeing a lot of that sort of vegetation. But on the other side of the road, it's actually been developed. This is the first time I've seen actually developed farmland virtually since I left Laverton. Most unusual. We're going to go and have a look at a place called Butterfly Gorge, and we may even have a look at the hot springs, but certainly we're going to have a look at Butterfly Gorge. Probably about 20 kilometres down this road. Okay, access to Butterfly Gorge is by 4-wheel drive track only, 17 kilometres from here. So I don't know how long it's going to take us, but we will see how we go. Also decided not to believe signs. There's one back there that said shallow water crossing, and it was the deepest I've been through yet, so there you go. Well, we're here, almost. Surprisingly, we've met quite a number of cars coming out of here, so it's a fair hike in, but we must have passed probably 9 or 10 going out at least. Okay, apparently it's fairly easy for the first bit, and then it gets fairly difficult. I'll decide on the difficult one when I get there. Remember what I told you to tell me yesterday? If I consider doing this again to stop me, here we go, water straight away. Walking over bridges, 8-foot logs, and there's something making noise in the bush. I'm not talking about that kid. There's very much vegetative stuff along the creek bed, obviously. Certainly different to anything I've had to walk through before. Well, there's a gorgeous little pool just in there. How about swimming in this one? Well, there's some of the walls of the gorge. And I'm supposed to be on a path that's supposed to take me to the top pool. But the bloody signage is terrible. Done with orange signs to start with, which blends in with the orange leaves as they die. And they're just too far apart. Well, there's the next indicator. Now, how the hell are you supposed to pick that out in that light? Very pleasant. Bloody inaccessible. Well there, friends, I have climbed this far. I'm well and truly above ground level. And where do we go now? But bloody down. And I don't know that I've got the energy to come back up again. So this is as far as it goes for this one. Sorry if I'm chickening out, but I nearly killed myself yesterday. I'm not going to do it again today. Again, it's the middle of the day, wrong time to do it. So now we've got to try and find our way back again. Well, we're back down the bottom from up there. We're going to now continue in to where the picnic area is. At least have a look at that. Well, this is certainly lovely enough down here. Well, this just keeps on going in. This beautiful pond of water. It's all there. I'm heading back to the car. It's quite warm today. This is what we're walking through to get to it. Along a path, mind you. Okay, comments on Butterfly Gorge. If you're going to walk to the top, it's not difficult, but it is not easy to follow. Someone has been smart enough to tie some blue strips of ribbon, some of the trees up there in between the posts, so you've got some idea as to where you're going. When you get to the top, you've then got a steep descent of either falls to get down to the water, which means you have a hell of a steep descent to come back up again. So having decided not to do that, coming down here and taking a wander in, there are people a little further along the track, but I'm shot at this point in time. It is a very warm day, and I've decided to get back to the car. The thought crossed my mind as to which would be probably the most debilitating. Climbing this hill, the sort of weather I've been in today, getting to the top, then finding that it's not a good idea from your own physical point of view to climb down and then climb back up again. Well, that would be more debilitating than sitting down in an air-conditioned room, carting the coldies, on a widescreen TV, watching the Dockers play football this afternoon. Okay, you will recall that back in the East McDonald's, how we demonstrated how very dry landscape can, just with a drop of rain, can have flash floods. Well, the same phenomenon has happened up here. When I came in, this was totally dry. But I had a leak on top of the hill, and look what's happened. Well, we're heading back to whence we came. Look at that. Rising out of the ground. It's that one big hill. Remember back on the Sturt Highway and we were showing you all sorts of anthills. Well, that's not a bad sized anthill, and there's a heap of those along here, that's for sure. There's bundles of them, but most of them are hidden back in the trees. But there's a heap of them like that, huge anthills.
Turning to the weather and the cloud band.
Just a bit more of the road that we're travelling on. So Adelaide River from Hayes Creek. After the flatness of further down the road, these mountains through here are absolutely delightful to drive through. The road is a narrow road, but it's bitumen to start with. Not the smoothest bitumen, but it's a hell of a lot smoother than some of the rough that we've been on. Just delightful country here. Here's a great little project that's being done by the Adelaide River Primary School or the Greening Australia. And this is a rehabilitation on this particular area of the river. It says there are some falls. I don't know whether that's them or not, or whether there's something a bit further up, but let's go and have a look. Just a bit further up. Glorious in here. Well, the water's certainly flowing through. Well, sometimes if you walk in far enough, you just might find what you're looking for. We're sitting later in the day at this point in time, so we just might head on back. Yes, unfortunately there's not enough, or there's no signage back where we parked the car to tell us what we're looking for. So, as a result, maybe we could have gone just a few more metres and seen what we're looking for, then again we could have been walking for ages. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, on our way. Well, that was Robin Falls Rehabilitation Area, it's called at the moment. So, they're obviously trying to set the thing up properly, but certainly no directions, nothing to tell you what is in there. We walked about probably 200 metres along a pretty rocky track, and it was probably another 100 or 200 metres beyond that maybe is what we're looking for. But as I said, it's getting a little late in the afternoon, it's 4:30 and we've still got a few miles to do yet. I have no idea what I'm doing tonight. That was Robin Falls.
If you enjoyed this video, there are over 400 more just like it on this channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell and we'll let you know when our next video is available. If you like this video, hit the like button and maybe even leave a comment. If you weren't too impressed, then the dislike button tells us absolutely nothing. So tell us why, so that we can do something about it. Thanks for watching.